How's it going, everybody? Told y'all I'd get to this domestic versus imports video. You know, I had a few personal things going on here nor there. And like I said, I'm not going to get real personal with my life with this. This is just sorry I keep looking up. I got everything connected to my mounted TV. So if you see me look up, that's what I'm looking at. Domestic versus imports. This is the argument amongst arguments through generation after generation after generation, and the younger crowds usually with the JDM, and the older crowds usually with the V8 muscle, American muscle, import versus domestic, however you want to look at it, whatever you want to call it. There's lines drawn and you either stand on one or the other. Now everybody, you know, typically respects any engine that's fast, any suspension that's tight. You know, anybody will respect each other for building anything fast, and, you know, taking a 1995 Honda Civic hatchback and turning it into 1,000 horsepower, you know, dumping 30 grand into it. Anybody's gonna love that. You can't not love that. Or seeing that little shit box blow a Ferrari or blow a Corvette, even, you know, doing things that shouldn't be doing, you know. So what we have here is a R35, and there's a big uproar right now. I'm probably gonna put my input on it about Nissan not coming out with the R36. You know, all they did was do minor. I mean, this platform's so drawn out. I think it's like 12, 13, 14 years now. And they just trying to keep making $1 off this thing without spending none of that money that they've made into something new, something more exciting. So, but regardless, still a great platform, still a great car, still a dream car, one of mine right here. These things are amazing. I mean, there's so many ways you can do this. All-wheel drive. This one's 1,000 horsepower. I've seen a few things about this car right here. 1,000 horsepower. VR38 CP pistons. Now the porting. Sorry, I'm sitting on a metal chair. This motherfucker's killing me. The porting on this thing isn't with a CNC machine. It's plasma ported, which was crazy to me. ARP head studs. They went and upgraded the turbos in this. Kill Ford camshafts, boost logic, intercooler, titanium, full titanium exhaust, which is a beautiful exhaust. Hang on, I got something on there. That right there. Look at the burnt titanium around that flex pipe right there. If that ain't sexy, I don't know what is. I'd lose a marriage over this car. This thing's just an all-around beautiful car. Big factor in a lot of people swaying people towards imports, towards JDM, is this car right here. There's a R35, and, you know, RIP Ken Block, but one of the first and only few cars that beat the Unicorn was a car, I want to say they call it Kimbo Slice or Godzilla or something like that. I can't remember what the car is called, but it's an R35, and it is just a nasty car, just all around. This car runs on methanol. Just an all around beautiful car. But we're going to move on from this, because I could sit here and just gawk at this and talk about this all day. So for you muscle heads, I had to throw this in there when I seen this car right here. Classic 68 Charger with modern Challenger decals on it, headlights, tail lights. The exhaust come out of the tail lights. 426 Hemi. This engine back in the day was banned in NASCAR because it was just too fast. They weren't allowed to run this engine because it won so many races at one point. They actually banned this engine, and they do a whole plug and play kit where you get all the electronics, the pedals, the engine. You can buy either just the engine, and I believe it's like 60 grand for just the crate motor plus all the electronics, the pedals and everything. And I'm not sure exactly how much the car is. I'm sure it's in the six figures. I'm sure it's probably $250,000-$300,000 car right here. This thing is just immaculately nice. It's the T6060 trans. This thing's just like simple. Look at that. That's beautiful. Even though that's a modern car, that's all a car needs right there. You don't need a radio. You don't need man, another dream car. I'm not a fan of the emblems. A lot of people are. I'm not. 4-point harness comes in the car. Claims 1,000 horsepower, 950 foot-pounds of torque. 6-piston Brembo brakes come on this. I mean, this thing is just amazing. There's the crate engine right there. PCM, all the electronics come with it. Big boy supercharger. I think price sounds so mean. Next car, and I didn't think I'd see something like this. This is actually a wide body C8 stand stout. I'm a fan of this car. Not a fanboy of this car, I guess you would say. I'm not particularly. I mean, I think they're cool. I just don't think they made it a mid-engine. I believe it's all-wheel drive. Someone had told me McLaren stepped in to help engineer the engine. They kept coming up short for however many years until this car came out a couple years ago. They were trying to make that supercar scene, the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, and all that, and they kept coming up short for 30, 40 plus years, and had to have. I want to say the guy told me it was McLaren stepped in and helped engineer this thing. But this one in particular looks like somebody's kid got a hold of it. Their parents, their daddy, their mommy bought this thing for them, and they did all the cool stuff a kid would do. Wide body, cambered. I mean, it's nice. It's just not my cup of tea. It's still, I know it's still stock. I mean, now granted, stock, this thing's amazing, but it's not my cup of tea. Beautiful car. I mean, that view right there, the fender flares, the duckbill. Not a fan of that stuff. I mean, I don't know, undercarriage loopers. Like this, right? Maybe it is. You got. Sure, they got someone that spent $100,000 and put fake sponsor stickers on this thing, so maybe it is sponsored. Maybe it does have a bunch of performance stuff. I've never seen this car before. Oh, jumping ahead. Oh, get back over there. Well, now we know Rob Dam's the next car. What I got on this thing? Yeah, it's this OEM style fitment. Yeah. I'm pretty sure those are fake. That's fucking stupid. And let's look at Rob Dam's RX-7. This thing, if I was to think anybody was going to beat the Hoonicorn when I was watching this versus that, it was absolutely this car right here. I mean, this thing, even for a RX-8 or RX-7, I'm sorry, I'm not misconstruing this. This RX-7 right here, I'm not very knowledgeable on rotary engines and the Dorito chip and all that. I'm not, but they are, I mean, built are nasty cars. From my understanding, very unreliable, I don't know, just, they're beautiful cars, and this one is probably the most polarized, popular. I mean, I'm the biggest fan, and when he went up against the Hoonicorn and the hood flew off, and he's so excited. I mean, Rob Dam also behind the car is I don't know, his personality, and like he nerds out and doing the pixels to get the coilovers just like the Unicorn, and figuring out the measurements on a picture so he could measure out each pixel so he could get the suspension in this car set up the same way as the Unicorn because he wanted that same type of suspension in there. You know, that's just a passion that somebody has for engineering something like this, and then when someone gets that type of passion, dedication, and comes up with something, I mean, look at the flames shooting out this side exit right here. I mean, the body curves, how sleek this thing is. I mean, the tube chassis, the wide body kit on this, the tires, the rims, the Brembo brakes. I mean, everything is done. Look at the intercooler piping for the turbos. The turbo in this thing is huge. That's not that turbo is big, but that's not the turbo that's on there now. He's upgraded from this turbo. I want to say it's 105 millimeter, but I'm not exactly sure. That might be the new turbo. That might be the other one. Because, let me see. Yeah, look, the down piping is different. So this is, yeah, because he's got all the body work on here on this part. So this is the old turbo. This one's the new one. Let me see if I can move me. Look at that thing. That thing is huge. I think he's at 1500 horsepower now. He might be over that now. Here, let's see. Where's the other one? Google. How much horsepower does Rob Dam's RX-7 have now?
According to CarScoops, the turbocharged 4-rotor Wankel engine pumps out a whopping 1,240 horsepower, which is over 300 horsepower more than what the 787B offered.
Nah, I still think it's more than that. When was this? 2022? Maybe it is only 1,200. I thought it was 1,500. Yeah, see? Listen to this 10,000 RPM, 2,000 horsepower, 4-rotor monster. Yeah, Google's got shit wrong. They're outdated. $2022. Okay, let's see when this video right here. I know, that's why you can't rely on Google. It's not like I can call this dude up anyways. Well, here nor there. So, my opinion on JDM import versus American Muscle domestic cars, you know, depends. A lot of it depends on your situation. Like, if you got the money, or you are in a situation where someone's helping you out and you got that type of money, like for something like this, by all means, you know, I'm not mad at you. I respect anything. And more so or more or less the import scene. You know, I would love to be able to spend $250,000, $150,000, whatever it may be on something like this. But it's I mean, you got it with the JDMs too, you know. But the fact of the matter is something like Rob Dam. Let's go all the way back here. 90% of people that get into something like this, it roots from something like this. You know, you're taking, and whatever it may be, a G body, F body, RX-7, I mean a 3-rotor, I mean whatever it may be, a shitbox Honda, and turning it into something like this, something immaculate like this. And it don't even got to be immaculate like this. Like, he nerded all the way out on every aspect of this thing, and this thing is a beautiful, beautiful car. By all means, if you have the capabilities and the know-how, and you got CNC machines, and you got engineering degrees and stuff like that. But normally what it is someone like me buying a junk ass car that's on its last leg, and having a small amount of know-how to go to a junkyard, pop the piece of shit base model engine out of the car you got, and fabricate motor mounts, and being able to measure axle length, and knowing how the engine needs to sit in there at what angles and what degrees, and popping a turbo on something, or shooting 150 shot of nitrous or 250 shot of nitrous through some, or even if it's just a 75 shot of nitrous, whatever it may be, taking something and turning it in, taking a little bit of nothing and turning it in a lot of bit of something is the point of all this. The accomplishment that you get with yourself is where I fall with it. So am I a muscle car guy, or am I an import guy? Well, I have a Honda. Quick story, back in the day, I had a 2002 Trans Am 383 stroker. It was bored out to a 397. Gear ratios were torqued out in the trans. Half roll cage, had rear slicks, and had about 650 to the wheel. Guy I went to high school with had a CRX Honda and little 1990s hatch, B18A1 or B16 or one of those engines, and camo green, carbon fiber hood, 800 wheel horsepower. And he looks at me without telling me the horsepower at the time. He says, "This thing will blow the doors off that trans." And I said, "You're batshit crazy. You better go put that thing back in the garage and pray to God that you don't see me rolling around out on whatever street we see each other on." And we went from a dead dig, a 30-40 roll, and a 50-60 to whatever, and that Honda blew the doors off me in every aspect of the race. The power to weight ratio. And you can sit there and say, "Oh, there's no replacement for displacement," and all that. It had me sold. I didn't know what VTEC was. I didn't know what a turbo VTEC engine was. I didn't know the capabilities of this thing revving to 10,000 RPMs. And I didn't understand how half the cylinders in this car that was maybe 500 pounds lighter was able to do what it was doing. And it sold me up. The Trans Am was bought. I bought it with all the roll cage and everything, and I didn't respect it. I ended up wrecking it. And I've built a CTS now. I've built a Civic. I've wrecked both of them racing. Well, I wasn't racing the CTS. I've just been up too long working and tried to come home after working like 30 hours. But you appreciate these things more regardless of what your opinion is, regardless of what you favor engine-wise, or LS, or I know diesel truck dudes that have crazy horsepower and crazy, even more torque, thousands more foot-pounds of torque than and they're pushing 1,500, 2,000 horsepower, and they got 3,600 foot-pounds of torque. Like, whatever your opinion is, whatever your thought is, it's going and meeting up with this group of guys and these people and coming together, and everybody getting to see each other's builds. Everybody's getting to, learn what does what, and bikes, whatever it may be, and you guys get to go around, and you guys have a common interest, and you have a common theme with a different scenario and situation attached to it. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's scenario and what they think's right and what they think's the best is different. And when you guys get up in a group and you start tossing these ideas around and your opinions around and you're laughing and shooting the shit, and then your car is faster, but John down the way has a shit box that's faster than that, whatever. That's the thing. That's what it's all about. And I'm a Honda guy, was a V8 guy, turned, I guess, JDM import, whatever you want to say, and just I fell in love with these cars. So whatever your opinion is, your opinion. I respect all builds. I don't agree with certain stuff, but I mean, to each his own. Not saying that this car was given to me, I wouldn't be appreciative and excited. Excuse me. Shit just ain't something I do on my own recognizance. I mean, I guess it's cool, and it is what it is, but whatever, it's whatever. Honda. Got a few things in play. I created a short earlier. I think I'm gonna K-swap it. The manual trans for the J series is hard to find. Honestly, that's a big obstacle with it. I do have a Holley FI and a P2R adapter kit down there. I do have BC coilovers. I can keep the suspension the same, but I have already put like $1,000 in parts, and I'm pretty sure I've changed my mind. Like 95% sure that I'm gonna K-swap this car. It's cold. I've been working a lot. I apologize that I've not been on here. My buddy's been on my ass about posting shit. How's it gonna take off? How you gonna be able to show these people what you can do if you can't even sit down and at least talk to these motherfuckers? So here I am. I'm speaking on this shit. I'm gonna try to think up with some new content, and I'm not gonna be running around. I was watching this dude from Louisville. I was trying. I'll get in. I'll save that for the next one. I'm not gonna be on here. I'll be watching these people do these challenge videos and doing these prank videos and all that. I'm not doing that. So we're gonna nip that in the ass right now. I get on here, and when I get my other camera fixed, I'll be able to get more intimate with y'all. But this is how I'm gonna have to do it until I get that better camera rolling, because I'm having technical difficulties with having everything intertwined. So this is how we're gonna be doing stuff for a second. So just kind of roll with the punches as they come. I don't want this to drag on too much longer. Yeah.